that would sum up The Walking Dead, Dead City Season 1, it doesn't make any sense. Hello. It is a new year, but I'm still me. So this is going to be something maybe a little different for some people, but maybe very familiar for other people. And really the main reason why I'm making this video and posting it here is because I have just too much to say to be able to just put this on the Instagram stories. And I say that because I happened to post a short scene from this series, and it kind of opened the floodgates of people asking if I was going to finish the season or if I was going to comment on my opinions about it after the fact, or if I finished it, what my thoughts were about it. And it's been quite some time since I talked about The Walking Dead or anything really to do with it on this channel. I've been just doing a bunch of other things. So if you're somebody that came to my channel after The Walking Dead was not really part of it anymore, then you're probably not going to be super familiar with my opinions about the show or characters or anything else. You're probably not going to know a whole lot. But if you're somebody that was here before all of that, and especially if you've been here from the beginning, because I know that there are still people here that have been here since the beginning, then you're very familiar. So I don't need to say too much about that. But maybe a little weird to see a video that has anything to do with The Walking Dead from me in the year of our Lord 2024. I kind of resurged officer friendly for a second here. Don't get too comfy because it's not for long. Basically maybe just for this video. And I know that I said in some recent videos that I was stepping away from reaction content and stuff like that, and I still mean that. But I don't think this is the same thing, because this is more of just discussing kind of how I felt about something after the fact. And what I wanted to talk about was the spin-off show from The Walking Dead, Dead City, which is the Negan and Maggie spinoff. Man, I have my computer right here because I wanted to like make sure that I hit certain talking points, and like there's just certain things that I wanted to make sure that I talked about in this. It's kind of a lot. There's only 6 episodes in the entire series, but there's kind of like, I don't know, it kind of brought up a lot of other stuff for me. And I'm gonna be completely honest, I got like 2 episodes in and I really thought about just not watching it anymore. And then I just told myself, it's only 6 episodes, like just do it. Just finish it, see what the fuck, how they even are gonna explain all of this, and just get it over with. Just watch it. And I know you're probably thinking, if you couldn't even make it through 2 episodes, then why would you even watch it, or why did you finish it? Because I'll always kind of have a soft spot like right about here for The Walking Dead, and I always want to give it a chance, even though I'm so used to being disappointed by it at this point that I don't know that I don't know why I would expect anything different, or why I would think that I wouldn't be disappointed, especially dealing with Negan. Again, if you've been here long enough, you probably already know my history with that one. And if you haven't, then if you've somehow just ended up on this video looking up Dead City stuff, and you've never even seen me before in your life, I do have a whole history. You can just go onto my channel under the little videos tab and just scroll down. Just scroll, and I promise you, you will see it all. I did episode reactions, I did comic reviews, I did discussion videos, I did casting, news, videos. I did all kinds of shit. This is not my first rodeo with this series or these characters, right? I am very familiar. I think I am somebody that I feel like my opinion about Negan should be one that is valued, just because I have a long history with that character and I know everything. And when it comes to TV Negan, I kind of dropped off the ship or the boat or the wagon, whatever you want to. I just fell off at a certain point, right? That was kind of that. But when it comes to comic Negan, though, I know everything. All right, there's nothing you can tell me that I don't know. I feel like I have the right to have these opinions, and I think that they are valuable opinions just because I'm not new in the game, right? I'm new in the fandom anymore. I was one of the, I've been here, you know what I mean? So, when the original show ended, and there was these talk about the spin-off shows, in the beginning, like, they weren't really saying like what they were or who it was going to be, and then there was the Daryl one, and then there's Negan and Maggie, and then Rick and Michonne, which I think that one, the Rick and Michonne, is coming out, I think, next month. February, I think. I've had people ask me if I'll watch that one. I might, you know. I'm a bit more intrigued by that than any of the other ones, to be completely honest, because I love those two. Dead City. I have a lot to say about this. I have a lot of opinions about this. I'm gonna try to be nice, okay? I'm gonna try to be nice. First of all, the premise of the show is a bit strange. No, not even strange. I don't understand. As one of the OG Negan fans, I do not understand why, of all of the people, like of all the characters to do spin-off shows with, Negan being one of them, why you would pair him up with Maggie Green, of all fucking people. I'm having a really hard time understanding why anyone would do this. Because I'm going to bring up the comics quite a bit during this little discussion about this show, because I would do it during my reactions all the time. I would bring up the comics, and then people would, you know, most of the time it was just the TV viewers that would come back and say, like, they're two different things. Stop bringing up the comics. When the show was literally basically every major storyline, characters, everything was taken straight from those books. So that doesn't really hold up, saying, oh, they're two different things. No, they're not. I never understood that. And I would always say, like, in replies, they're not two different things. They're the same thing. Are you okay? It was really bizarre. And as somebody who read the comics first and then watched the show, I always watched the show through that lens of knowing the comics first, knowing the events that happened in the comics, and then watching it happen in the show. I have very strong opinions about these characters, especially Negan. I was the only person, when Negan first showed up in the show, I was the only person, at least the only one that was making videos, doing reaction videos at that time. I was the only person that was happy to see him and that was excited about the whole Savior's storyline and everything to do with it. I was I was ecstatic. I was so excited because Negan was my favorite character. I loved him. I loved everything about it. And I was so excited to see it on screen because the comics were so good. And I loved him so much from his stuff in the comics. He was the best, and you couldn't convince me otherwise. You still can't, okay? Comic Negan is superior. He is still the greatest. He's the best. You can't convince me otherwise. No offense to TV Negan. Comic Negan is superior, okay? He just is. But I would say that it just in general, I'm somebody that has the opinion that the comics are better than the show, and that's how I feel. If you don't have that opinion, that's fine. But for me, they are. They're better than the show. As somebody who was a comic reader, watched the show, became very disappointed by the choices that they were making in the show when it came to storylines, you know, death choices. They fucking killed Carl. That was like really like the one that did me in, honestly. And I've said that consistently over the years, that them killing Carl was pretty much it. Like, that was the nail in the coffin for me. I also noticed during that time, during the All Out War arc, I was very disappointed in it. The All Out War arc in the show felt very lackluster. It did not feel as big and exciting and grand as it did when I read it in the books. Like, even like the panels in the comics, everything was just better. It felt like in the show it was very lackluster and kind of just, I wasn't really all that impressed, honestly, at the end of it. I was just kind of like, this is it? Like, what is All Out War about this? It just didn't feel like it really lived up to its comic version. That was a big disappointment just for me because how big of a Negan and Saviors fan that I was very disappointed. And also in the middle of the All Out War arc just being kind of lackluster, Negan also started to change. And I was very confused by that because I was like, well, this is strange. He's not supposed to be acting like this. Then it just kind of kept progressing from that point, right? He just kept making these really odd choices and doing these really strange things that just, for one, he didn't do in the comics, and for another, it just seemed very out of character for him. Seemed very like out of character just all the time. In the comics, even after Negan is captured and they put him in jail in Alexandria, he doesn't do some big grand personality shift, right? He still remains Negan. He's still an asshole. He's still a jerk. You know, he still, you know, puts his foot in his mouth all the fucking time. It's still him, you know? And he also doesn't have those weird, he doesn't start making these like emotional bonds with everybody's children. Like in the show, first it was Judith, and I'm not counting Carl because his relationship with Carl actually did happen in the comics, but it wasn't some weird like, I'm your daddy now. It was like, just, you know, he liked Carl. He's like, I like the kid, but he didn't want to be his dad, you know. He didn't want some type of like, you know, like paternal role over this kid. That wasn't what it was like at all. And so when he started developing this weird relationship with Judith, that was another thing that I was like, what is happening here? This is not what he's supposed to be doing. And then later on, apparently, he gets, like, meets another woman, marries her. How many wives has he had at this point? He gets her pregnant. And then in this show, Dead City, there's another girl that he ends up having some weird stand-in daddy relationship with. It's very strange. It's not like him. I'll get to that, but just my point is that he started doing really weird out of character shit, and it was just not Negan anymore. No, this is not what he's supposed to be. This is not who he is. This is not how he acts or what he does, and it just got really bad, and so I just stopped watching the show, right? So when this show came along, and I didn't watch it for the longest time, obviously. I just watched it like very recently, like within the past like couple of weeks I've watched this show. So it's very like new. My issues with this show and why I'm just very confused by it, and I don't really understand what the point of it is. First of all, the main thing, the main problem I have with Dead City is the fact that it is Negan and Maggie. Again, to reference back to the comics, that just, there is no alternate universe, no planet, nothing where putting those two together makes any sense. Those are just two characters that you just don't put together. You know, Negan bashed Glenn's head in, killed him, and Maggie hates his guts for doing so. Understandably, I get it. In the comics, it made sense because she goes and finds Negan, she threatens him, she puts a gun to his head, blah, blah, blah. And then they just end up resolving and being like, okay, we'll just never see each other again. That's what Maggie wants. That's also what Negan wants. Like, he doesn't want anything to do with it anymore. You know, Negan has moved on from the whole thing that happened with Glenn, and he's done. You know, it's like it's been years, and you're still like wanting to kill me over this. But at that standoff though, he tells her like, go ahead, do it, kill me, go ahead. Like he's letting her, he's giving her the opportunity to kill him. She doesn't kill him. She just says, you know, all right, she feels pity or whatever. And she's like, you know, fine, we'll just never see, I just never want to see you again. You know, just, we're done after this. It's over. And that's the agreement. And guess what? They never see each other again. How it ends. They have their little thing and then it's done. They never see each other again. The reason why why it irks me so bad is because in the television series, Maggie has been so completely just like this, wishy-washy over the whole thing. First, she wants to kill him. Then, no, and they did recreate the scene in the show when he was locked up in Alexandria. She goes down there, he does the whole kill me thing. She feels bad, she leaves. She doesn't kill him. So then, okay, now we're not going to kill him. But then he gets out again, and now she wants to kill him again. And it's just really back and forth constantly. She cannot fucking make up her mind. Do you want to kill him or do you not? Like, it is constant. To the point where in this series, her own son, like, tells her, you know, what the fuck is wrong with you? This has been my whole entire life you've been acting like this. What the fuck is your deal? Like, are you gonna do it or not, basically? You know, and I understand Herschel's frustration, all right? Me and him, we're on the same page. Me and Herschel, we feel the same way about his mom. So to me, because she was so wishy-washy in the original show, now you're gonna put them together in this, and I'm gonna have to put up with her doing the wishy-washy thing for a bunch of other episodes. Like, I haven't already seen it for seasons of this show. Like, it's nothing new, right? Like, that's the whole thing. That's what's so frustrating about it, is this is nothing new. Her thing with Negan is nothing new. Her frustration, her anger, her wanting to kill him, her not wanting to kill him, then wanting to kill him again, it's nothing new, okay? We've seen the same song and dance for years. For years we've watched them do this, and I'm tired of it. I don't care anymore. I don't think anybody really does. Like, if there's somebody out there that truly cares about that still, I would say the same thing to you as I would say to Maggie, which is get the fuck over it. Get the fuck over it. It's done. It's done, okay? Glenn is literally dust in the ground now. Like, just get over it. You had so many opportunities to kill him before this. You should have did it before now. Just stop harping on about it. Like, I'm done with this. Like, we're all annoyed. I don't know how Negan didn't just, like, right then and there. Like, the second she started running her mouth about that shit again, he should have just killed her. Honestly, I don't know why he didn't. And that goes on, by the way, through the whole first season of this show, because apparently there's going to be another one. That goes on the whole fucking time. Annoyed the shit out of me. I'm so sick and tired of Maggie and her bullshit when it comes to Negan. I'm over it. I really did like that scene though in the first episode when he you know, gives her the what about it, like calls her out on her shit, because Maggie, the whole entire group in Alexandria was just a bunch of hypocrites, in my opinion. And that's why, you know, people used to get mad at me when I would do my reaction videos. You know, they'd get mad at me because I would call it like it is. They were a bunch of hypocrites. They wanted to act like they were high and mighty and were just trying to help everybody and be good people, when they were honestly they were really fucking evil sometimes. People can say what they want about, you know, them defending themselves, but they were brutal about it, okay? It's hypocritical of them to act like, you know, to act like they did with Negan and his group, because they were the exact same thing. There really wasn't much difference between them, you know, not in terms of their brutality. They were very, very alike. And so when he tells her, you know, how many fathers and sons and husbands have you killed? And she just stood there with her mouth shut because she knew better than to say some shit back to that. Maggie has killed plenty of sons and fathers and husbands and whatever else. She's no angel. She's no better than anybody else. It gets frustrating to watch her repeatedly act like she is, you know, and to keep using the sympathy card over Glenn, because Glenn's not the only one that died in all that mess with that group. And they killed a bunch of saviors before Negan even touched a hair on Glenn's head. So it's just, you know, I get tired of the hypocritical bullshit with that whole argument in the first place. So I did like that he actually, you know, told her, like, bitch, shut the fuck up. You're no better than me. Please, like, humble her for me real fast. Can you just humble her real quick? So the villain in this show is an ex-savior. I don't even know how the fuck, I couldn't understand anybody in this show, by the way, when they would say this guy's name. The Croat, is that what they were calling him?
Who is that guy anyway?
He's got an accent and his ear blown off. And he was an ex-savior. This is my problem with the entire storyline. Okay, because I have a problem with it. And what my problem is the fact that this guy, he kidnaps Herschel, okay? So he's got Herschel, and that's why Maggie goes after Negan and finds him. She finds his bounty paper, because he's got a bounty on his head. He fucking, for killing people. Surprise, of course he's killed people. There's a bounty on him. And so that's how she tracks him down. She finds his picture on the bounty paper, and she goes hunting after him because this guy that has her son is an ex-savior, and she thinks, oh, well, Negan can fix this. The problem that I have with this storyline, just as a whole, that this dude, he somehow gets a child. He kidnaps a child, brings her back to the sanctuary, takes her all the way down into the basements of the sanctuary, deep down under, and he interrogates her, he tortures her, and he kills her. Now, I know you're probably thinking, what's your problem other than just in general being disgusted by that behavior? My problem is that it doesn't really make any sense to me, because Negan doesn't find out until after he's done said things, kidnapped, tortured, and killed. He doesn't find out until after he's done all that any of this even went on. Now, why that makes no sense is because there is not anything that goes on in that sanctuary that he doesn't know about. Nothing. There is nothing that goes on in that sanctuary that he doesn't know about. There's nothing that comes in or goes out that he does not know about. I would love for somebody to explain to me how in the hell that man got that little girl through the doors of the sanctuary and then took her all the way down to the basement and got her down there, did all that stuff to her that he did, and no one interrupted him. No one saw him do it. No one, nothing, nobody. How in the hell did that happen? Because that just doesn't make any sense. It really doesn't. It's made clear in the comics. It was even made clear in the show. Nothing happens here that I don't know about. How would he not know about that before it ever even happened? Not only that, once he finds out that this has happened, he basically does nothing about it. This is, like, timeline-wise, this is before they even meet Rick and his group. I think that they're already dealing with the kingdom. I think. But they haven't even met. So this is when Negan is still Negan, right? The original, like, cold-blooded killer Negan that everybody was just, so up in arms about, when he first showed up. The one that bashed people's heads in without a thought. That Negan is the one that goes down there, sees a little girl tied to a chair that has just been tortured and killed, and he doesn't do anything about it. Nothing. He doesn't do anything about it. Not my Negan. Because Negan would have... Negan would have taken that bat in his hand and turned that dude into soup. That's what Negan would have done. Negan doesn't tolerate killing children. Even the bloodthirsty, cold-blooded, evil Negan does not tolerate killing children. He does not. And the fact that this guy does this and he didn't immediately kill him makes no sense. It makes no sense. I just stared at my screen after that scene was over, like, you're not gonna do anything? And then, to make it even more just fucking bizarre and weird and out of character, apparently when he does try to kill the guy, he tries to shoot him in the head and misses. That's why he's missing an ear. Negan doesn't kill people with guns. Negan doesn't kill people with guns. I swear to God, you could probably count on one hand the amount of times that Negan has had anything in his hand besides Lucille. He doesn't kill people with guns. And why would you wait to kill? Like, that's why I'm saying he should have killed him immediately. Because the dude, the Croat, whatever the fuck his name is, he fesses up to everything right then and there. He's like, yeah, I did it. There's no questioning about it. Like, if you want to drag his ass up in front of the crowd and do it, fine. But he should have been dealt with right then and there. No question. Again, just really out of character, doesn't make any sense. A bunch of other stuff happens. I'm not going to give you like a whole recap of this series because it honestly, it's just really, I wanted to give it, part of me, because I saw that scene of him telling Maggie all of that shit in the boat. that just short little clip, it came across my like Twitter timeline, and I saw it and I thought like, it intrigued me just because he kind of had a little bit of that attitude back, and I was like, okay, all right. And so it kind of made me a bit more like curious as to what this show could be. Like I really thought maybe it would be a bit more like, you know, I thought it was gonna be better. Part of me was really hoping, like, I wanted my Negan love to be reignited. Not that it's, you know, ever went out, but, you know, like, I wanted to love TV Negan like that again. I really wanted to. I really wanted to love, like, really love TV Negan like that again. Because I really did in the beginning. He was just, oh my God. He was just everything to me. I loved him so much, you know, and I would just really wanted, I think I was feeling a bit nostalgic, you know, and just wanted to have some of that back, and it did not work. It just wasn't what I was hoping it was going to be, and there's going to be another season of it. I don't really know, you know, of course that season ended with Maggie telling Herschel, you know, no, I'm going to go and I'm going to finish it. Like, okay, like we haven't heard this before. I'm sure you're going to finish it, Maggie. I'm sure you will. Ugh. If that's how Negan's story ended, if they really had Maggie kill him and that's just how TV Negan ends, I'll be very disappointed, and honestly, just like, come on, dude. And the comics just, it ended way better. Just the whole thing was just better. I'm sorry. Maybe some people don't have the same opinion, but I do. I just think it was better, okay? In like literally every way, it's better. So there's going to be another season of it. I don't know that I'm going to watch that because it got kind of hard at the end of this one. Like, just all the really weird shit. It was just really weird. It just really didn't make any sense. I don't know. But yeah, I wanted to make like a, because like I had a lot of opinions. You see, this is how long I've been talking for 40 minutes. That's how much I had to say about this shit. This is like my way of like trying to like just put it in a video for the Instagram people that wanted to know, because you see 40 minutes of this, like those Instagram stories would have went on forever. Absolutely not. It's like, I'd rather just do this, you know what I mean? So this will probably just be like a really random one-off video. I wouldn't get used to seeing me talking about this anyway. Listen, I love to talk about Negan. I just don't, not like this though. I'd rather like say good things. I'd rather say good things about him. Wish I had more good things to say, but I just really don't. And it sucks, you know, it really sucks. I wanted it to be better, you know. I really had hope that it wasn't gonna be that bad. I just think maybe, you know, just a word of advice for the writers on that. If you happen to see this video, you probably won't, or you probably already left by, you know, about a good 5 minutes of me shit talking this. You probably already left. But if you didn't, I would just like to advise that maybe for this next season, maybe like spend a little bit more time thinking about things. You know, just maybe flesh out those storylines a bit more. I don't know, maybe try to make these characters more like they're supposed to be would also be some pretty solid advice. Maybe you'd get some OG viewers like me back if they actually fucking did things that made sense. I don't know. But the way that I would sum up The Walking Dead Dead City Season 1, this doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make any sense. Not even a little bit. If you sat through this whole entire video, honestly, kudos to you. Because I've had trouble sitting through this entire video. But for some of you, hey, here's some Walking Dead nostalgia for you. Did you expect to see a Walking Dead video from yours truly in the year 2024? I bet you didn't. I really bet you didn't. You never know what to expect from me. I never know what to expect from me. I didn't expect this, but you know what? I tried. I tried to give it a chance, and you know, it's just, no. But, yeah, that's about all I have to say. I thought I would dress up and look cute for this because, you know, I used to do that for my videos, okay? I used to really look cute. Yeah, I don't know what you're going to be seeing next from me, but I hope you all had a wonderful holiday season and a happy new year. And until next time, I'm not officer friendly anymore, but kind of felt like it in this video. Bye.